Let's take a look at nested selectors. So there's a way to select certain elements that live inside of other certain elements. So I'm just deleting this code here, and what I'm going to do is create an example. I'm going to create a div, and in that div, I'm going to have a paragraph. So I type P, Emmet abbreviation shows up. I can now hit tab. Let's throw some lorem ipsum in here. And I'm going to also create another part that says this is bold. And I'm going to make this bold as well. So B. So strong. Let's go ahead, select that. Cut, move to the end of the line, paste. And let's make something in here bold as well. Strong. Go to the end of the line. Cut. And let's go down here. Paste. And what this looks like is this. We have a paragraph with some bold text, and then we've got some text outside of a paragraph. Look at this code real quick. This stuff is outside of a paragraph. It's inside the div, but it's outside of the paragraph. So we've got a paragraph here with an inline strong. Now let's say we just wanted to target me. Let's change this to target me. Well, currently, we know a few different ways of doing this. We could select all of the strong elements. We could give it a class. We could give it a class called selected if we wanted to, or we could add an ID of selected. Or maybe not the same one, not the same name as a class name. That gets a little confusing. Select me. Now we could add a class or an ID to this element. But when you work with frameworks in the future, such as Django, you might not have access to this right away. And so an easier way is to select it by selecting the div and then the paragraph and then this particular element. And so maybe let's just put this on a new line as well, make this a little more readable. And let's get rid of this stuff in here. So let's look at nested selectors. So currently we can select all of our strong elements, and we can say the color is going to be blue. And this is great, but it selected this one. Maybe we don't want that one to be selected. Maybe we want just this one to be selected. How do we do that? We can do that without a class. We can do that without an ID. We cannot do that by selecting just the element because there are two different elements here. So what we can do is we can say target all paragraphs and then all the strong elements inside of a paragraph. And we do that by saying P space strong. So we have a P element here, paragraph, that matches right there on line 12. Space, not a comma, not a dash, nothing like that, just a space, then strong. And what's really cool about this in VS Code is you can just put your mouse in here, click, and if you look up here, it says strong P div body HTML. It tells you exactly where this element is living. So we just want to select all the paragraphs. So we're going to select every paragraph on the page. And then we're going to select every strong element inside of each of those paragraphs and turn it blue. And so when we save this and refresh our page, we're going to see that this one will turn black and this one will stay blue. Just like that. Now that is called nesting selectors, and we can go as deep as we want as well. So if we wanted to target just the ME here, we could say this is italics. And if we wanted to target just this one, we could say select all the paragraphs on the page, select all the strong elements inside of each paragraph, and then select all the I elements inside of each strong element. And so again, if I put my mouse there and I click I strong P in reverse order, that's P strong I. And you can see that it matches up here. And so let's go ahead and give this a shot. And now only this is blue. And it inherits the italics that our browser tries to apply by default. So that is nesting. I really want you to give this a shot. So go ahead and create something like this, where we have a div and a paragraph. Make this blue, and then have a paragraph outside of your div. Don't target this. This should not be blue. So I want you to target this one, but not this one. Don't use a class, don't use an ID, use a nested selector.